a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
Welcome to The Bits, hosted by your favorite jam buds, Robert
and Charlie.
Charlie, I believe we are in need of an onion friend in order to review this episode. And lo and behold, our favorite onion friend, Ethan, is here.
I am here. I am the onion friend.
Do you identify as an onion friend now?
Do I have any other choice?
I mean,
assigned onion friend by Robert.
F-burr.
But Ethan, it's been a bit since you've last been on. The last episode you were on for was...
For sure it was the first Lion episode.
Yes. I think that was the only episode you were on for. You were on for Steven's Lion. So 10. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a good minute.
That was before the fucking strike.
That was like right before it, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's
man.
funny is that in the notes of our podcast, you're listed for season 1, episode 10 under like affiliation with host or whatever. You know, you're listed as internet friend. Meanwhile, for our season 2 notes, you are listed for Mysteries in the Machine, which is one of the things you do. Which reminds me, if you would like to tell our wonderful listeners, remind them who you are, what you do, throw your pronouns in there because you're a cool cat like that.
Of course. So I'm Ethan. I am a friend of the show. Charlie and I host Mysteries in the Machine together. A podcast all about Scooby-Doo. Robert's been on a couple times. They were on the first episode of the season we're currently doing, just to be a meme. Because we were trying to find an episode for them to guest on. And they were like, I'm going to pick the first one. And we're like, all right, whatever. So
they are, in fact, a meme.
Indeed, they are. They are the damn meme page. And my pronouns are he, him.
Fantastic. We have also in numerous attempts. I don't know. I might actually try and find the space for it. We've also numerous times have talked about doing a Ben 10 podcast or some kind of project.
Yes, we
God.
have.
And then I'm like, I don't have the time. I'm sorry. Whatever.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I don't know. I think I have the time. I think I can do it. What's one more podcast punch? I
mean, you only have currently one.
Well, currently one and currently a YouTube channel. And I mean,
yeah, I was going to say,
I need distractions, my friends, because right now, Gestures Broadly isn't going too well. So if I keep burying myself in work, I don't have to think about it.
That's a mood.
That is a mood. Like, that's been my mindset for the past 8 days, 9 days, however far into this hellhole we are.
Why do you think I binge shows so much? It's to
No,
numb
I
the
get
pain.
it.
Shout out to the future, because this episode goes out on Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to the three of us who are all in love.
Yes, we are.
With other people.
Happy Valentine's Day. We got to see Onion's birth today.
Yeah. Oh, God. Well, technically we didn't see it, but we did. We definitely heard it.
We heard Onion's birth.
Definitely not something I ever wanted to hear in my entire life. But before we continue, there are a couple of things we got to go through. Number 1, hey, DashCon 2. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Number 2, hey, Charlie, did the postman bring us any post?
Hey, Mr. Postman, bring me a post. Bring me the post I love the most.
They only sing that when we have mail, folks. What do we got?
Oh my God, I'm here for post? Well, this is only a second time here, but I'm glad I'm here for the post.
Well, yeah, you're a male, so
I am
my
the mailman and onion friend simultaneously.
Once again, our dear friend of the pod, Kyla, was hit with some inspiration.
Oh yes, I loved this the last time she was here.
Last time, on the pod, she sent us something about the Keystone Motel, and now this time we hope you enjoyed your stay is the title of the email. Thank you for your recent visit to the Keystone Motel. Booking number 6233635683. Made of love. As in like pin pad numbers / letters, you know what I mean? That's in parentheses. So I guess she did a thing. We value any and all feedback, so please leave a review. Check out these recent reviews from guests like you. 4 out of 5 stars. You get a coupon to the best diner in the world for leaving a review. It's a motel in Keystone, as advertised. I'm ready for a discount on my breakfast. 3 out of 5 stars. My kids and I usually love stopping here on our annual road trip to Empire City, but this last visit was a bummer. We checked in and the kids went for a quick swim that afternoon. We had hoped to take another dip before heading out, but the next morning, the pool was completely dried up. There was no prior notice about maintenance work being done. I hope management makes some serious changes. I guess communicating with people isn't a priority at this establishment. Oh, and then even worse. 2 out of 5 stars. My room was freezing. I swear the walls were made of ice. I actually found some strange crystal-like structures while I was watching TV. I told the staff while they were quick to get someone to look at everything, they just said that the AC wasn't broken and the stuff on the wall probably wasn't mold. I asked if I would be compensated for the poor conditions and was told there was nothing they could do. That isn't a very sound business practice. And then in the parentheses, side note, I know it's usually the best reviews that get shared from the businesses, but this is a cheap motel in not Pennsylvania. It isn't exactly the Ritz. Thank you, Kyla. Thank you so much.
I was say this hotel must not get very many reviews.
Probably not. But you know what should get reviews? Our podcast. Hey, drop a cool little review where we listen to podcasts. Leave a comment. Talk to us. Email us at thebitssupod@gmail.com. Come on, we love to hear from you.
And we will read it on the pod. Don't you worry, we will.
I worry.
You
That's
worried that you won't
unrelated.
have any post?
No, I just worry.
Same.
The worry is unrelated to the post, I think.
That's valid.
But at least the worry will subside as we look today at Season 2, Episode 13, entitled Onion Friend, which premiered July 15th, 2015. This is a weird one, folks. What the fuck?
And Ethan chose this one.
What the
Okay,
fuck?
here is why. Onion is my favorite side character in Steven Universe because usually he's a chaotic little gremlin boy.
What do you mean by usually? What do you mean by usually?
What do you mean? Jennifer Lawrence crying while doing fucking hot wings. What do you mean? What do you mean?
But in this particular episode, Onion takes the line between chaotic little gremlin boy and straight up terrifying and uses it like a fucking jump rope. I don't know what Rebecca Sugar was on and the rest of the team writing this. There's just a lot of shit I was not expecting. It's been multiple years since I watched this, but still.
I want to know what the inspiration for Onion was.
Yeah. Because, like, in my mind, it's kind of a reverse on, like, the adults in, like, the Peanuts cartoons where, like, you can't understand what Onion is saying.
Wop, 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 wop.
Exactly. Yeah.
I guess the only way to get to the weird part is to start talking about the episode. So the episode begins with Steven making a bagel sandwich. As a proud former New Yorker who lives in Jersey now, I have to say the best bagel sandwich is one with bacon, egg, and cheese.
Well, Steven makes one with an egg, salmon, and cream cheese.
You know what?
This
Respectable.
is a choice.
I can't yuck his yum. That's protein. That's carbohydrates. That's healthy fats. You know what?
Yeah,
Do what you
I
got to
mean,
do, Steven.
I'm here for it. I love a good smoked salmon. I love a good over easy egg. The cream cheese makes sense with the salmon and the bagel. So I probably would have put something like a little bit acidic on it. But other than that, it's fine.
I'm not into it, but that's just me.
Well, I don't think you like eggs or salmon. So
Or cream cheese.
What do you mean I don't like eggs?
I thought you didn't like eggs.
I love eggs. Do you know how many times I've had eggs as a meal
I
this
love
week?
how they're almost crying about this. What do you mean? I love eggs. Like, what the
Okay.
fuck, dude?
Charlie, it is more useful to assume you don't like a food than you do like a food.
Eggs is so simple, though.
So again, we're now another difference between Mac and Charlie is that Mac hates eggs.
There you go. It's not me you were thinking of. You were thinking of Mac.
Why are you thinking about my boyfriend, Ethan?
Yeah,
What?
why are you? Why are you thinking about their boyfriend?
Okay, can I be honest? I only think about Mac when he's mentioned on the pod.
Wow, cruel. So the only thing we can agree on, maybe sandwich-wise, is that he doesn't want to eat it because he wants a little side. And you know what? Yeah, a sandwich is not a meal. You need a little thingy of chips or a little thingy of French fries. Like, a sandwich does not make a meal.
No, a sandwich is like a snack,
It's the,
if you're me.
I was gonna say it's the main course, but sure, okay, Ethan, it's a snack.
No, it
If
needs
you're
an
me,
appetizer. You need an appetizer with that. That's the entree. Excuse you, sir.
Oh my gosh.
Sandwich is not a snack. Unless it's like a little tiny wrap, like the little tiny wraps you get from Dunkin'. They're like, oh yeah, this is a meal. I'm like, that is the tiniest fucking sandwich I've ever seen. Oh, I always get 2.
I'm pretty sure Charlie doesn't know it because I don't think they exist in formerly Massachusetts and currently in Illinois. I'm a big fan of, there's this like gas chain in New Jersey called Wawa, and they have really good snack wraps that are like very small, quote unquote, but hey, they're snack wraps. That is what a snack wrap is.
Yeah.
I've lived
Tiny
in the
little
Midwest my entire life. I've heard tell of Wawa and how good it is, supposedly, but I'll
I've
leave
heard
that
of this.
to Robert as the only East Coaster left on this podcast.
There was one left. As Steven is looking for a side, Amethyst walks into the room and he's like, "Hey, have you seen Garnet or Pearl?" And she's like, "Nope, I haven't." Which is implications that Garnet and Pearl still aren't talking to each other due to the events of Cry for Help. Amethyst slowly walks to the couch and she lays down, and Steven finally decides, "Hey, you know what would go great with my sandwich? A bag of Maximum Barbecue chaps."
Chaps.
What makes them Maximum Barbecue?
You know those Doritos that are like so thoroughly coated in the Dorito dust?
Yeah, in the Dorito cocaine, yeah.
Yeah. Every chip in this bag is one of those.
There's actually no
Mm.
chip. It's actually just barbecue.
Just the powder.
But like it's been hardened into a chip form.
Oh god, that'd be so bad. It's so salty.
It would be very, very salty, very strong flavor. It's sort of like, there are people on the internet who post themselves being dumb, surprisingly, but this level of dumb is when they go to like one of those self-serve soda machines and they're like, I'm not gonna get scammed, I'm gonna fill myself just the black Pepsi part. And it's like, that's just the syrup, that's just syrup. You need the water, that's why the water's there.
Ew.
Yes.
Why would
Yes.
you do that?
There is something so wrong about like when you get the syrup to water like incorrect. Have you ever had it where it's like not enough syrup? It tastes so bad. And then when you have
Yeah.
too much syrup, it also tastes so bad. You need the equilibrium.
This is the only reason I will never, well, there's like 6 other reasons. This is the main reason why I'll never buy a SodaStream, because I won't trust the like recommended, if you want it to taste like a Coke, you just need one little capful, and then I taste it and it's like, oh, this is terrible.
I think it's a process you figure out over time as far as like what you personally like, if that's the direction you want to go. Like, I don't have a SodaStream. I don't know if I want one, but it just seems like, the beauty of it is you get to figure out your own personal taste.
Seeing the word Maximum Barbecue makes me think of that SpongeBob thing. It was like, "You'll never catch me, Krabs, not when I shift into Maximum Overdrive." Yeah, I knew I should have paid for Turbo.
You'll never catch me, crabs.
So he opens the cupboard door to find out that Onion is in it for some fucking reason. Onion grabs the bag and jumps from the cupboard.
This little fucking gremlin has been hiding in Steven's cupboard to steal his food. He does not eat food. This boy has never eaten a food. I don't know how he's still alive, but he does not eat food.
He absorbs nutrients via osmosis.
He is an onion.
He's an
So-
onion, so he has photosynthesis.
I would believe he subsists on photosynthesis.
He goes outside and like SpongeBob, just photosynthesis. Photosynthesis.
Have you
Mhm.
noticed how fucking jaundiced this boy is also?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
He's so
well, him and
His
his
kid-
mom.
His kidneys aren't even in him at this point. That's how fucking jaundiced he is.
Yeah.
oh, it's insane. Everything about this boy is insanity.
Yeah.
And
Speaking of insanity, Steven blocks the door for him to like prevent Onion from leaving the house. Onion jumps through the fucking screen window, and Steven has to chase him.
Steven's like, we just put that in. Oh no.
Steven
Are they-
eventually chases Onion down to a house and enters through the garage, and when he does, he's shocked to see there's a bunch of paintings of Amethyst all over the garage.
Paint me like one of your amethysts.
Later on, Steven returns to the garage with Amethyst, and he's like, hey, it's possible that Onion's obsessed with you. And a mysterious voice asks who's there. She enters this was a fucking shock for me. She enters the garage with a double barrel shotgun.
Is this the first gun we've seen in the show?
I think so.
Probably the last as well, but still.
Amethyst sees that it is her old friend Vidalia, who, they both recognize each other.
Friend, I think, is a bit.
Ran.
Yeah, friend, I think, is a little. Is not a romantic enough term to describe what I think their relationship was like at some point.
There was something heavily LGBT about the idea of Vidalia painting Amethyst over and over in all these weird poses.
I was gonna say, you don't ask somebody to model for you, like outside of a like classroom setting, if there's not something romantic or sexual or both happening there.
Yeah.
She was just really into amethyst, shapeshifting into weird objects. She's just like, oh, this turns me on.
Listen, anything's a dildo if you're brave enough, including amethyst.
Including Amethyst, but not shapeshift. Steven asks who Vidalia is and how Amethyst knows her, and Amethyst is like, oh, we know each other through Steven's dad. But then Steven's dad was fucking boring, so we started hanging out with each other and left him to die, I guess.
I was gonna say, is this the first time we're like really meeting Vidalia? Because we've seen her in the one flashback when Rose and Greg met with Marty. So I think this is the first time we're seeing grown-ass adult Vidalia, and like really spending time with her at all, other than like, this is Vidalia. And you could easily tell who she's related to by the shape of her fucking hair, Steven.
And also how jaundiced she is.
Right, like the Onion definitely got his mom's genes, mostly.
His mom's jaundice.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure Yellowtail is too.
I thought Yellowtail was just pale.
It's just a family of people who don't have functional kidneys. R.I.P.
That
I
is
think Sour
unfortunate.
Cream is the only one that looks semi-normal. He just has white hair.
Yeah, he's just really pale.
Yeah.
Just a pale dude.
Vidalia is like, is that really Steven? You look just like Greg. And she means it in a positive way because she's like, oh, Greg used to be hot. Which, I mean, sure, why not?
I mean,
Greg
like
did.
back in the day.
Back in the day. Steven asks Vidalia of all the painted pictures of Amethyst in the garage if she's the one who did it. And she's like, oh, yeah, Amethyst was my favorite model. Again, something LGBT is happening.
Oh, also, there are some pictures of like them together.
Mhm.
That like she has. There's one of Vidalia curling Amethyst hair and like burning it. It seems like I wonder who she was trying to imitate with that curled hair.
Hmm.
Big
But also the fact that it's just fucking burning it because like she's made of light. I feel like
It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
it doesn't curl the right way.
Yeah. Onion enters the garage and he clings to Vidalia, and Steven's like, wait a minute, you're Onion's mom? And Vidalia's like, yeah, he loves talking about you. And then Onion whispers something to Vidalia with that. He fucking speaks in Animal Crossing, that's what it is.
At least he doesn't speak Simlish.
Fugadadooshnu.
I have a joke with my Polish friend where it's like, if you speak in Polish with a very Americanized accent, it does sound like Simlish. So, for example, kurva mach is like fuck. So, when you say like kurva mach, dziękuję. Anyway, that's
great.
It does sound like Simlish.
that's your Polish language teachings for the day. Onion is whispering to Vidalia, and it's because Onion wants to know if Steven can stay for dinner. Steven wants to say no, but Amethyst is like, yeah, sure, we'll stay.
Onion's like your
Yeah.
best friend, right?
Yeah, he's like your best friend. Vidalia, Amethyst, Steven, Onion, and Sour Cream, they're all at the dinner table eating food. Amethyst finishes her meal, and she's like, man, I can't eat another bite of whatever that was. And Vidalia's like, yeah, no, that was just butter noodles. And I'm like, I fuck with a good butter noodle.
It's Charlie's
I like a
comfort
little bit of-
food.
A little bit of Parmesan on it. I like, actually, a lot of Parmesan. I dump a lot of Parmesan on my things.
That's
but
so
also-
valid.
But also,
Okay,
butter.
how is it freshly grated Parmesan, and how often is it just like the green can?
It's the green can.
Mm,
You know it
valid.
is. You
I
fucking
have
know it
both.
is.
I have both in my fridge right now. I have a big thing of Parmesan cheese in a can from Costco, and I have a thing of Parmigiano Reggiano in like my cheese in like my cheese drawer.
I'm not
I
fancy
just have
enough
a-
for great things.
I just have a
myself.
wedge of Parmesan from Aldi. That's it.
Hell yeah, that's something
Throw that on top.
that's all you need.
Oh, this is also when this is the first time we're also realizing that sour cream is also related to Onion and Vidalia as well. And then we don't get the confirmation, but it's, like Amethyst asks, like, oh, like, have you heard from Marty? Like Farty Marty in a while? And it's like, oh, that's Sour Cream's dad. Like, remember we saw Vidalia and him together before? All the pieces are going together. Like,
And then Marty died. Rip.
Rip.
I mean,
in
he
hell.
didn't. We just wish he did.
For all intents and purposes.
He's a deadbeat
Oh,
dad, so
for-
Exactly.
For all intents and purposes, I shot him myself.
I'm so
alright.
proud of you.
Let me commit murder sometimes. Gosh, why is it
Can you
so
believe you
taboo?
killed someone's father?
They are halfway to becoming Batman.
Now you have to kill Vidalia too.
I like Vidalia though.
Okay, does Onion just have is his only safe food mashed potatoes? Because that's what it looks like he's eating.
No,
Or-
but he doesn't actually eat it. Remember, so what he does is he makes it into a thing of Steven's head, like a
Right,
sculpture, and then
Yeah.
he licks it while making eye contact with Steven, who is not happy about this.
Yo, bro's
Okay.
fucking weird. My
Okay,
guy.
but after he
And then
licks it, he
he-
does eat the mashed potatoes.
No, he chews it and then he drops it out of his mouth onto the table.
I love how Steven's like, why do you hate food?
This boy does not eat.
Hmm.
How is he
Oh.
alive?
Osmosis. That's it. That's all he needs.
I guess.
Later on, Vidalia and Amethyst are talking about Amethyst's recent life, and she's like, it's boring. Amethyst, you lying piece of shit. Steven wants to thank Vidalia for the dinner and leave eagerly. However, Amethyst doesn't want to leave yet because she's like, hey, there's nothing else we have to do. And an Amethyst and Vidalia party doesn't end until the sun comes up, which, I mean, gosh, I'm slowly reaching the age where I do not want a party to last until the sun goes up. I'm done by 10.
I've never been
No.
that person.
Not necessarily that I want the party to end, but I'm just like, I don't want my friends to leave either.
Sure.
Eternal sleepover.
Exactly.
I mean,
It's
I
the
mean,
ideal.
They are in an eternal sleepover.
The platonic ideal is eternal sleepover. I just kidnap all of my friends.
Oh, I thought moving in with Abby was your eternal sleepover.
I mean, partially, but also, I'm sad when my
Um,
friends leave.
That's
Yeah.
valid.
It's very sad to see friends leave. It's also very sad to have friends who are busy. Like my best friend, I haven't seen her in a month. We just finally were able to schedule a day to see each other the day after Valentine's Day. So hey, the day after this episode comes out, tomorrow, I'm seeing my friend. It's great.
Yay!
Yay.
Yay! So Onion again does his little fucking, Animal Crossing talk to Vidalia. And she relates to Steven that Onion wants to show that Onion wants to show Steven around the house. Steven is nervous because it's Onion, and the lights begin to fucking flicker and go dim because music's playing. And that's because when Sour Cream starts to DJ, he uses up all the electricity in the house. Damn, okay.
What kind of setup does this man have?
All I remember is he has one of those setups where he like converted Game Boys into instruments that could play music. So I would not want to see the electric bill for this household.
God, me neither. God.
You know what? I don't think Yellowtail likes it either, which is what Vidalia says next. Like, at least he's not home because he does not like that. And this is where, Vidalia reveals to Amethyst that she's married to Yellowtail. What?
Yeah. Honestly, this whole episode, I do like how it's Amethyst and Vidalia. Listen, there's the weird shit we're going to talk about in a second, but it's Amethyst and Vidalia like reconnecting after 10 years or whatever.
At
Like,
least.
that's the point of the episode. It's like, it's not just about like Steven and Onion's relationship. It's also like, hey, we're finally getting like, we're really getting how Amethyst is dealing with like all this stuff at home, and how once again Steven, what is he doing? He's putting her needs before his, and he's letting her, hang out with her long lost friend, and he has to deal with Onion, who he sure, tolerates at times.
That's probably the best case scenario with Onion most of the time.
Yeah, it really is.
So then Onion and Steven go to Onion's room. Onion starts bouncing on his bed, and it confuses Steven because there's a trampoline in your room, dude. Like, why are you bouncing on your bed? A mouse crawls up to Steven's foot and is happy to see that Onion apparently has a mouse roommate. I mean, hey, make the best out of any situation.
That's Steven's
Like-
MO, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Steven, whether or not it was just a mouse that was living in the walls, which I assume it is, or it's a pet, Steven's just like, hey, cool, conversation starter.
I was under the impression that this was a mouse from like the pet store that you could buy explicitly to feed to a snake.
Usually they're dead.
Usually, yes. Like when I was in college, my roommate and I had a tiny snake. He's about 10 inches long, little tiny Kenyan sand boa. Look them up. They're very small snakes, even when they're full size. And we get like, I forget what they're called, but they're like tiny frozen baby mice. And we'd feed them to our snake.
Right.
Rip.
Rip. Speaking of feeding the snake, Onion wants Steven to feed this mouse to a snake, but Steven can't
But
do
it's
that.
like dramatic. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, is
Really
that his
dramatic.
home? And like the light turns on. It's like, that's a fucking snake. No.
Word for word, that's what Steven said. That's a fucking snake. No.
They don't have any arms.
Yeah, so instead of killing the mouse himself, he gives it to Onion, and Onion is just like, okay, done. Onion then turns on the TV and puts in a video cassette, and Steven recognizes that the video is set in a hospital and recognizes Vidalia's voice, and Vidalia says she's ready. And this whole section is fucking terrifying because it's a video of Onion's birth.
I thank my lucky stars that my parents don't have a video of me being born for this exact reason. Like, I have seen a birth on video before, but it was not mine.
I think I know what the question's gonna be.
Oh god.
Charlie, no!
Charlie, no. The question would be like, were you born? I'm like, no, I wasn't born.
Robert sprang fully formed from a hole in the ground.
Exactly. I mean, did you guys know about me up until like a couple of years ago? No, you didn't. I just sprung. I'm a government plant. I'm fed. No, I can't make that joke. That's terrible.
Robert, I only knew you because of Charlie, so...
And Charlie only knows me because the mysterious fucking Percy Jackson meme page just started to like, yeah, sure. That's what I want you to think.
It was wild.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild.
Yeah. Onion then thankfully turns up the TV and he tears off a poster on the wall to reveal a ventilation duct. He's like, hey, come with me. But he doesn't say it. He just like signals it. And Steven like tries to give up, like just gives up and walks out of the room. Steven goes downstairs and tries to call Amethyst to leave, but Amethyst is talking to Vidalia. And then Steven eavesdrops on them. Amethyst is telling Vidalia that she's never seen Garnet as upset as she is right now. And Amethyst just feels trapped at home. Vidalia, great person to talk to, I guess, because she's like, hey, I understand your concern. I relate to it. Our family doesn't always get along with each other. Yellowtail and Sour Cream, they always at each other's throat, and that always drives Vidalia nuts. And when that happens, she always thinks of Amethyst and how she can always go with the flow in any situation. Amethyst is like, nah, that's not me. Vidalia, you're like that. And Amethyst just feels like a dumb sponge following Vidalia everywhere. I mean, God, we are in therapy corner right now.
This is therapy, in fact.
I mean, honestly, like, if either you A, are the therapy friend for your group, or B, talk to the therapy friend in your friend group on a regular basis, like, friends can be good therapists sometimes.
Yeah,
the new title for the episode, Therapy Friend.
Exactly.
Therapy onion friend. Vidalia in replies being like, Amethyst did anything she ever wanted to without caring. And that's why Vidalia looks up to her and sees her as an inspiration and painted her. So then Vidalia just runs out of tea and like goes to get more. And she's just happy that the kids are keeping themselves busy, which, I mean, yeah, you know, if you have kids and you're in therapy session with your friend, it's great that they're busy.
I'm sure she would rather her kids not hear all of that stuff, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Steven's just like, okay, fine. I guess I'll stay. So he was gonna try to tell Amethyst, can we hightail it out of here, please? I'm scared. So he braves it. He goes back to Onion's room to face the horror that he thinks Onion has planned for him.
Oh, geez.
It's a very valid assumption. Because we get fucking Die Hard reference in here. They're crawling through the air ducts.
That's the only time you ever crawl through an air duct. Never before has anyone done it.
It was just the first thing that came to my mind, okay?
The first thing that comes to my mind is what we were talking about before the podcast, which was Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
That's so valid, though.
That's my origin.
I am in your life. Here you are in mine.
So what do we have here? We go through this air duct and we come into a secret room that has like no door and like lights all around it, and there's a chest. What's in the chest, guys? What could it possibly be?
What's in the box?
It's guys. And gals.
And gals.
What about the non-binary pals?
That's another.
That is yet to be released.
Rip.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Not only is it a chest full of guys and gals, it's like full of rare collectible guys and gals, specifically Steven, specifically Explorer Gal, and
Karen.
like, and
Karen, my favorite one.
Onion shows Steven Explorer Gal, and Steven's like, oh my gosh, wow! And then he tries to give it back to Onion, but Onion's like, nah, this is yours. And Steven's surprised by this kind gesture and thanks Onion for it.
It's like, wow, yeah.
I guess they really are friends.
Honestly, the mood for any play date is when you're just like, yeah, you can have this thing that I really treasure because I treasure our friendship.
And my thought when I was watching this was like, is this Onion, I guess, paying Steven back for taking his ranger guy all those episodes ago?
Maybe.
Later that night, Amethyst, Steven, Vidalia, and Onion are standing at the front door. Steven and Amethyst are preparing to leave, and Vidalia thanks Amethyst for visiting. And then Amethyst is like, I'll visit anytime you need me if you need inspiration. Amethyst adds that Vidalia and Onion can alternatively visit the Crystal Temple, and Vidalia is like, that's a great idea. Hey, Steven, you agree with that? Steven looks at Onion, who opens his mouth slowly to reveal that he hid the mouse in his mouth. And the mouse leaves, scurries away, and the episode ends with Steven saying, haha, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Also, I just remembered that Onion's room is later called his office by Sour Cream in I don't know what season. Whenever it is that all the people end up taken by Aquamarine, it's like, have you checked all these different places for Onion? You know that secret room inside your house? Oh, you mean his office? Yeah, of course.
That's wild.
It's his office.
Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Robert.
Guess what it's time for?
It's time for Crystal Temple Trivia.
Yes, it is. According to the Dad's Home list, the event of this episode occurred after the start of June, but before June 25th. That means that about a year has passed since the events of Ocean Jam, which took place at the start of summer.
Shit, man. This episode is symbolized in the promo art for the third Steven bomb by a mouse. Oh no.
That's sad. This episode is a collaboration between Katie Mitroff and Lamar Abrams as Helen Jo. Abrams' former storyboarding partner has moved on to other projects.
The shape of her hair very noticeably resembles an onion, which is fitting considered Vidalia is the name of a type of onion. It's a really good onion too. It's very nice and sweet. That's like that.
I love cooking with Vidalia onions.
Exactly, my man.
It's also just like a good name, honestly. Like
Yeah.
I would not have known it was the type of onion until like somebody else told me online. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense then. Vidalia is curling young Amethyst hair to resemble Rosa's curly hair in a photo.
This episode title, Onion Friend, may be a play on Old Friends, as that was the working title of the episode.
Aww.
The existence of Guy's spinoff, Gals, was revealed in this episode. Several of the Gals action figures are female counterparts of the Guy's line of action figures. Explorer Gal corresponds to Ranger Guy, Hard Hat Gal corresponds to Construction Guy, Invisible Gal corresponds to Invisible Guy, Orange Gal corresponds to Apple Guy, and Karen corresponds to Dave Guy. According to Matt Burnett, Gals are rare because they were discontinued years ago, and Guys are currently back in production as a part of an 80s nostalgia wave, which, I mean, sure, that makes sense, but also, wow.
Yeah.
Can't believe it. I did also check the wiki to see the stuff that it has about guys, and so there's guys, there's gals, and then there's boys as another spinoff.
Where
Apparently-
are the non-binary pals?
There are none. We need to make them ourselves. Let's design non-binary pals.
Let's
we'll
do
just
it.
call them pals, actually.
Yeah,
There you
Pals
go.
I think is fine.
And then they'll just look like me and Charlie. Are
Exactly.
we pals?
Correct.
Are we pals? Are we pals?
We are pals.
Hell yeah.
In honor of the episode, the Crooniverse had noodles and butter.
Butter.
Butter. It's revealed that Onion will whisper in his mom's ear, even though he will not talk to anybody else. This may mean he has selective mutism.
Which, hey,
Mm.
valid. Now for cultural references. The red variant of the Guy's toy ninja guy resembles Quickman from Mega Man 2.
The gal's toy Karen bears some resemblance to Rebecca Sugar, the creator of Steven Universe.
The gal's toy Triangle Gal is a pink inverted triangle, a symbol sometimes used as a gay rights symbol.
Onion's secret room and its location resembled a hidden speakeasy room at Pixar's headquarters.
What?
me? What is
The-
that?
what?
Apparently,
They have a
Pixar just had-
speakeasy?
In Pixar, yeah, why not? Because they
The
want
animators
to
need to drink, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Onion owns a poster of The Door in his room, an obvious reference to the 1965 rock band, The Doors.
The portrait of a surreal shapeshifted amethyst resembles Pablo Picasso's surreal cubist portrait.
The
I thought
poster-
it looked like Ditto, but
Mm.
I thought it looked a little bit like, you guys remember All Real Monsters?
yeah.
A little bit like the guy who holds his eyes in his
Hold
hands.
his eyes up here, yeah.
Yeah. The poster of Onion in a fetal position in his secret room resembles the Star Child from the 1968 film 2001: A Space Odyssey.
When Stephen is climbing in the vent, the background movement resembles the manner of movement in Attack the Light. Remember that? That was a good game.
I do not.
No, I do not.
It's the Steven Universe game.
Oh, okay. I think you're the only one who's played it.
They
Of
are.
three of us.
Yep. They had to for a bonus episode on Steven's room.
Fun.
Yeah, Robert, you should play it.
Maybe.
The scene where Onion is sculpting his mashed potatoes resembles the famous scene from Steven Spielberg's Close Encounters of the Third Kind. In the movie, a main character sculpts mashed potatoes in the shape of a mountain he is obsessed with.
Oh,
Onion's poster covering a hidden vent is a nod to Andy Dufresne's infamous escape tunnel from the 1994 film The Shawshank Redemption.
the clock in the upper left corner when Stephen enters Vidalia's garage resembles a Lenny face.
I did not clock that at all. Robert, did you?
And I did not. And now for Charlie's favorite section.
Continuity? I don't actually know the right way or the wrong way anymore. My brain is just like, wait.
It's supposed to be continuity.
It just messes with my brain.
Garnet is still not talking to Pearl.
Steven says he knows that Onion does not eat food, a reference to Onion Trade, where Onion tosses his burger into the ocean piece by piece.
Beautiful. A bagel sandwich can be seen in Stephen's kitchen, a reference to Cheeseburger Backpack. He also made a bagel sandwich.
Backpack,
So
cheeseburger backpack.
One of Vidalia's paintings of Amethyst has her short hair and Alvin story for Steven.
And finally, Vidalia reappears in this episode. She's also revealed to be Onion and Sour Cream's mother, which was previously hinted in Story for Steven. All right, so fellas, who are we giving our Pearl points to?
Karen.
I was actually going to give my Pearl point to Triangle Gal.
I was going to give it to the rat that was in Onion's
The
mouth.
mouse.
Or I'm sorry, the mouse that was in Onion's mouth. I hope he lived a long, happy life after that. Even though mice typically tend to live about 2 years or so.
I mean, for what it is.
It is what it is. And now the
yeah.
question, Charlie. You said you thought of a question. What's the question?
Well, I was gonna say maybe. Have you ever seen a video of someone being born?
Yeah, I took health class in like 10th grade, so they showed us a video of someone being born.
Yeah, I took health class my freshman year of high school. I saw somebody being born.
I don't remember seeing these kinds of things. So
It was definitely not an enjoyable experience, because like, yeah, nature and whatever circle of life, but also I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I only remember it because I was so uncomfortable the entire time.
Same.
And my health teacher was like
It's
a
natural.
woman
It's
that was like
nature.
2 years away from retirement. So it's like watching someone being bored with your grandma in the room,
Yeah,
which
kind
is
of.
weird.
I just fear pregnancy and giving birth. So I don't think about these
Valid.
things. I
Yeah,
actually don't
especially-
remember if I've ever seen an actual one, but there's many a film. I include Breaking Dawn Part 1 as me watching a pregnancy.
I don't think
Charlie.
that's how it works.
Someone being born. That's how that works, right?
Charlie,
that's not how it works.
no.
Someone being
Okay.
torn through to let the child escape.
Okay, C-sections are kind of like that, but also not.
That was the most conventional C-section I've ever seen.
Hey, fellas, fellas general, unless you don't like fellas, happy taken out day for those of you who were born by C-section. Happy eviction day.
Hooray.
Eviction day.
Yeah,
I was
mean,
not, but I have cousins who were.
I was evicted from the womb.
I'm just gonna call my birth eviction day regardless. I was not born through C-section, but
It's like Robert's mom, and it's a picture of like the woman shooting the child like a basketball.
What the fuck?
Yep, that's being evicted for you.
Yep.
Well,
it just be what it be.
thank you, Ethan, for joining us for this wonderful episode.
Listen, somebody had to help you get through it. I'm glad it was me.
I'm
We
also
needed
glad
the
it was you.
chaos.
Feel free to invite me back for anything onion related.
Oh, there's a couple more onion related episodes.
What's the other one? Onion something. There's
Onion guys.
the one that everybody hates.
Oh,
Onion
is that
Gang.
Paper?
We'll get you for Onion Gang. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Lovely. Love that for me.
Hell yeah. But before we go, Ethan, if you'd like to once again remind everyone where they can find you on the internets.
Okay. So if you want to find me on the internet, obviously I am the Ghost of Mysteries in the Machine with Charlie. You can find that wherever pods are cast. You can find us on, I think we're only on Instagram right now at Mysteries in the Machine Pod. If you want to just find me, you can find me on Instagram at ethan.t.hewlin. You can find me on Blue Sky. It's at ethewlin.does.chat.
How did you get 1,600 followers? And that's not to say that you don't post funny things, but I'm like, damn, you got a lot of followers.
You think
I started posting in November.
Yeah.
A lot. So I think I was just part of a mass
Ew.
exodus, and a whole bunch of people just started following me for some reason.
I need to post on there.
Because you're funny or whatever.
I mean, I think it's a great place to do it. Like, I'll just whatever you call tweeting on Blue Sky, just most random shit that pops into my head.
Yeah,
just because I can.
Especially since Twitter is no longer fun for a variety of reasons.
Oh, I haven't used Twitter since 2022. Like, this has not been an issue for me.
Hell
What
yeah.
is this Twitter you speak of? It's deceased. It's
Oh, it's
beyond
Zitter
deceased.
now. That's right.
Yeah, because it's a zit on the face of humanity. Yeah, that's a wonderful ending to this episode.
Hell yeah. All right. Hey, guys. Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Robert.
If every podcast were perfect.
We wouldn't have the bits.
Bizers.
Bye.
Bye.
You can follow this podcast socials at the Bits SU Pod on Instagram and Tumblr. You can send a message to our Diamond line through thebitsSUpod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at our Patreon, patreon.com/thebitsu. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about Steven Universe, or whatever else. Our $5 patron tier also gets you access to Steven's Room, our monthly bonus show. There, we'll be talking about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with Steven in some way. No promises.
You can check out our merch store, The Bits SU, on Redbubble to find custom designs made by yours truly. Or if you cannot or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or even letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. It really helps. Our music was written and produced by Jason Hilton. You can find him at Negative Selections on Instagram. You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws.
You can find me, Robert, at The Damn Meme Page on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Blue Sky. If you want to have more from me, check out my YouTube channel, also called The Damn Meme Page, where I make videos mainly about Percy Jackson, but also sometimes other fun stuff. The Bits is proud to be a part of Deus Ex Media, which features great podcasts like My Cabbages, an Avatar podcast that follows the true hero of the Avatar The Last Airbender series, The Cabbage Cart Guy.
Coffee, tea, honor, cabbage. Long ago, the four elements lived in harmony. Then, shit went totally cray when the Avatar attacked. Only the Cabbage Man, merchant of fine cruciferous vegetables, could stand against his trolling. But when the world needed some dank veg, he vanished. 10 years have passed, and my partner and I have started a new podcast.
My Cabbages! An Avatar podcast.
A weekly show about Avatar The Last Airbender. Whether it's Sokka's new line of cologne...
Hey, look at you, sitting there on a seal. Well, now look back at me. I'm on an even bigger seal. Now look away.
D&D related antics.
You have to make an acrobatics check for that, and Aang just unzips his pants and whips out his d20s. He's just like, I got this.
Or randomly breaking into song.
Go bending waterfall.
We'll stumble our way through the greatest show ever made, one episode at a time.
You can reach us at CabbageCast, which is our Twitter, or
subscribe wherever you catch pod.
Rotten cabbages? What kind of slum do you think this is?
I have my tea with a little bit of honey, and if I just drink it, I won't feel existential.
I love a good spot of tea.
Mm-hmm. A good spot of tea, my good man.
A spot tea, some crumpets,
I don't think I've ever had
a drink with jam and bread.
Biscuits, right? Like what we would call biscuits.
Crumpets are more similar to scones, from what I've seen. So I think I would like them. And I think I know why you eat them with tea, because they're super dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also it's British food, so it has no flavor.
It's always so funny to me watching like a series on TikTok or YouTube, whatever, that's like making British cuisine part 1, whatever, blah blah blah, and they'll be like part 8, chicken tikka masala. I'm like, wow, you lasted 7 days before you have to start going to food that was from other cultures.
The thing is, they're not wrong. Chicken tikka masala was invented in the UK.
Yes,
but it was by a person from India.
Oh yeah.
Then does it count?
I don't know.
I mean,
yes,
French fries weren't invented in France either, so
no, they were invented in Belgium, but
God, I would fuck with some French fries right now.
I do love that.
Mm-hmm. What are we doing?
Yeah, the dish is often associated with Ali Ahmed Aslam, a Bangladeshi chef who owned the Sheesh Mahal restaurant in Glasgow, Scotland.
Deus Ex Media.